Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we'll be talking about some preseason injuries that have been occurring. This on another episode of... So, like is common every preseason, a lot of injuries have been happening, and I'm just going to go over a few ones today that may have longer term impacts for the NFL season. Obviously, a lot of preseason injuries are not usually that big of news, or they're to players that are not that impactful to their teams. So here are my picks for 3 injuries that I think are worthy to note. First up, we got Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter, of course, was reported on the injury list by Liam Cohen for the Jacksonville Jaguars this past week. He's currently dealing with an upper body injury, and this injury does not sound all that bad. I think it will not impact his availability for the regular season, but it's worthy to note. Why is it worthy to note? Well, because Travis Hunter wants to play both offense and defense, which will put a lot of wear and tear on his body. And he's already dealing with an injury. This raises concerns for his long-term availability while playing in such a way. Currently, the Jaguars are being pretty careful with Hunter. They're resting him, trying to get him recuperated from it. But if he continues to play both sides of the ball, will he get injured more often? Well, certainly won't be resting as much, and he'll certainly be taking way more hits than the average NFL player. So it's certainly something to watch. Obviously, this injury wouldn't be very big news. It was a player who's only playing one side of the ball or the other. But since Hunter is playing both sides of the ball, it is unfortunate that it's notable because it may be indicative of how this season will go for him on the Jaguars, which, if he's hurt somewhat frequently, that might put an end to the playing both sides of the ball idea pretty quickly. Next up, we got Jordan Love, who in his first preseason game of the year suffered an injury to his left thumb. Of course, that's his non-throwing hand, so it's a little less important, but he's going to get surgery to get a ligament injury repaired in that thumb ahead of the regular season. Now, why is this important? Well, obviously, he's going to be back for the regular season, and this injury's to his non-throwing hands. So, on that side of things, this injury is not important, but it's what it means for the regular season. Love, of course, is getting the surgery done so that theoretically he will not have any lingering issues heading into the regular season, which I think is good, because if you remember last year, he had several lingering injuries pretty much through the entire season, and this is development, at least on his part, to not have a repeat of last year. Get the surgery done just to fix it now, and then when it's important to not have injuries, hopefully he'll be fully healthy. And third injury is Shedeur Sanders, who is dealing with an oblique strain, which he suffered during the joint practice with the Eagles this week. And this is actually really unfortunate because he had finally been building some momentum in the QB battle in Cleveland. He had played in the Browns preseason week 1 game, done amazing. The momentum was finally on his side, that he can maybe carve out a nice spot for him to move up in the rankings of the Browns QB battle and potentially make a push to be the starter for the Browns. But unfortunately, this injury is a setback. He already will not be playing in the preseason week 2 game for the Browns, and it's unfortunate because his week 1 performance was really good in the preseason, and losing this time to be the starter for them in the preseason is unfortunate because, like I said, it's a crowded field in Cleveland. So it's unfortunate for Shedeur. And this, of course, impacts the regular season because the Browns season this year will completely be impacted by which quarterbacks in which order they start. Will they start with Joe Flacco? Will they start with Dylan Gabriel? Will they start with Tyler Huntley or Shedeur Sanders? The order of which those quarterbacks start during the year and then get switched out during the year will impact everything about the Cleveland Browns. They could have a bad season. They could have a mid-season. Somehow, I think they could even have a good season with the amount of chaos that comes out of that quarterback room. It all depends, though, on which one is at the top at the end of the preseason. So with that being said, guys, please like, share, subscribe down below, comment what you think, and I'll see you next time.